This next act that I'm going to introduce, I'm very, very honored to do. I've heard great things from this act coming out of the women's ministry. So, if you were a part of the women's retreat last year, without any further ado, Amy Green.
Right now because I'm 7 months pregnant. And frankly, that's one of the things I really love about being pregnant, is that when you're pregnant, you're not really fat or skinny, you're just pregnant. You're not overeating, you just have cravings. You're never lazy when you're pregnant. You should just be taking it easy. And everywhere you go, people are offering you their chairs and they're giving you things. It is really, really a fabulous time of life. Except that, and no one tells you this the first time you're pregnant, the time comes to pay the piper, and it's those first 3 months after you have the baby that no one tells you about, because you will leave the hospital still looking 6 months pregnant. Unless, of course, you're Molly McCann, and then you're going to leave the hospital looking like you're about 6 months into your sophomore year of high school. I'm convinced she doesn't actually count because I'm fairly certain she's some sort of Cylon. If you can have 4 children and still wear a size 0 jean, then you should just be hunted down by the Battlestar Galactica for sport. As for the rest of us, non-RoboCop, warm-blooded postnatal mothers, we will still look pretty pregnant for several months after having our babies. Which is fine. I just wish someone would pass this on to some of our non-married ex-classmates that we run into at the grocery store. Because here I am holding my baby and she says, "Oh, and you're expecting again." It took everything in me not to say, "That's right, just 6 short weeks after pushing this one out, I am expecting again. This is my, I gave in to my Jamba Juice craving 1 too many times, baby. Do you want to feel it kick?" Now, I have to tell you, typically I'm a pretty lazy mother. I will let anyone hold my baby for hours on end if they want to. Honestly, even a carny I met at the fair, whoever, can hold my baby. Unless I am going in public somewhere that I might run into someone I used to know from high school, then I will fight you to the death to hold my baby, because a baby is a badge that says, "I am not fat, I just had a baby, so back off." Also, I found that if you hold the baby just right, you can actually hide some of your problem areas, you know? So when you run into someone, you're just kind of like, "Oh, hey, how's it going? Pretty little baby." Also, if you're messy like me, you can use the baby to cover up stains. And I've actually done that before. Gotten the baby out of the little infant carrier and carried it around in my arms to cover up a stain on my shirt. It's fabulous. Another thing I really enjoy about being pregnant is just the things people feel free to say or do when you're pregnant, because, you know, this is like the communal baby and anyone's welcome to touch it or talk about it. I had a woman we didn't know tell my husband and I that she could predict that we were having a boy. Well, she was right, so my husband asked her, "Well, how do you know she's having a boy?" And we're waiting patiently, expecting her to say something about how I'm carrying high or carrying low or carrying all around or whatever. And what she told us was, "Oh, she just looks so haggard. She looks really tired. You know, boys just take it out of you."
Oh, that's okay.
Thank you? I mean, really, what do you say to that? This has to be the only time in life that one woman can tell another woman how positively beat up by life she looks and feel really good about herself, because she was nodding and smiling. You could tell she felt great about her comment. Later that same night, a man asked me if I was carrying twins. Yeah, when I told him no, he didn't drop it. Of course not. He said, "Really? I mean, look at you. There has got to be more than one baby." I'm thinking someone must have tipped him off to the Jamba Juice baby. I'm actually thinking of just naming the Jamba Juice baby, because then that way I can answer the questions and just kind of move on, you know? So I'd just be like, "Oh, yeah, you're right. We are expecting twins, 2 boys. We are blessed indeed. Yep. We have Joel and Jamba. Joel's my little fireman. Jumba's the entrepreneur. He's gonna start a whole chain of these nutritional shake shops. And people will drink them and they'll feel really good about it because they'll think they're getting really skinny, but they're actually getting really, really fat because they're drinking like 2,000 calories in a cup. But we feel great about this because we added a little protein and some wheatgrass. And I've thought about it. We're just gonna go ahead and try for triplets. So I called dibs on Serena's pie back there. Maybe Joel, Jumba, and Key Lime.